Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Saira Mujtaba with the midday news. The headlines. Preparations in full swing for world's largest COVID-19 vaccination drive on 16th January. Prime Minister to interact with Chief Ministers at 4 p.m. Home Minister Amit Shah launches single window clearance system for smooth operationalization of coal mines. An international group of experts from WHO to visit China on 14th January to probe the origin of coronavirus. Bangladesh to be the focus country this year for the 51st International Film Festival of India. And in cricket, India pull off draw against Australia in third test match at Sydney. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these three simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with the Chief Ministers of all states this evening regarding the COVID-19 situation and vaccination rollout through video conferencing. More from our correspondent.
The Prime Minister had chaired a high-level meeting to review the COVID-19 status in the country. On Saturday, the rollout of COVID-19 vaccine will provide priority to the healthcare workers and the frontline workers who are estimated to be around 3 crore, followed by those above 50 years of age and the under 50 population groups with comorbidities numbering around 27 crores. The CoWIN vaccine delivery management system will provide real-time information of vaccine stocks, their storage temperature, and individualized tracking of beneficiaries of the COVID-19 vaccine. More than 79 lakh beneficiaries have been already registered on the platform. 3 phases of dry runs have been conducted across the country. Anupam Mish, AIR News, Delhi.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said events being held virtually has given a great opportunity for youngsters to be a part of many interesting domestic and global forums. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said Prarambh, the Startup India International Summit, which is being held on the 15th and 16th of this month, is one such opportunity. He urged the youth to be a part of it. This summit seeks to bring together the top minds from industry, academia, investment, banking, finance and young startup leaders. The nation would also be marking 5 years since the Startup India initiative began. This initiative has propelled India to be among the most attractive startup ecosystems globally.
Union Home Minister Amit Shah said that the coal sector has the potential to be the biggest contributor towards Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of making India a $5 trillion economy by 2024. Speaking at the launch of single window clearance system for coal mines in the country today, Mr. Shah said the production of coal in the country has increased manifold in the last 6 years. He asserted that the sector also has the potential to boost Prime Minister's idea of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Making reference to a series of path-breaking reforms introduced by the NDA government in the last 6 years, Mr. Shah affirmed that the impediments in the coal sector, which included transparency and ease of doing business, have been addressed. He said the policy of commercial mining will provide additional financial impetus to states and will help create nearly 70,000 jobs. Mr. Shah urged the mining companies to spur coal production so that the dependency on coal imports could be reduced further and energy demands of emerging sectors could be met.
एक लंबे समय से कोयला क्षेत्र की स्थगितता को दूर करना, कोयला क्षेत्र में पारदर्शिता लाना और कोयला क्षेत्र के अंदर जितनी क्षमता पड़ी है, इसका संपूर्ण उपयोग देश के अर्थतंत्र को गति देने के लिए हो पाए, इसके लिए प्रयास हो रहे थे। परंतु नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में जब से सरकार बनी तब से एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव रिफॉर्म्स आने शुरू हुए और इस सबका परिणाम ये आया कि आज कोयला क्षेत्र ऐसी जगह पर आकर खड़ा है कि 5 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी के हमारे लक्ष्य में सबसे बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूटर अगर कोई एक क्षेत्र होगा तो निश्चित रूप से कोयला क्षेत्र होगा, वहां पर आकर आप खड़े हैं।
Speaking on the occasion, Union Coal Minister Prahlad Joshi lauded the historic reforms of the centre and said that the single window clearance system in mining will drastically reduce the time taken to grant approvals in the sector. He said the centre is committed towards ease of doing business and asserted that self-dependency in the coal sector will provide a remarkable thrust to the idea of a self-reliant India.
In 2014, two-thirds of our major power plants had a critical coal stock of less than 7 days. Today, India is the second largest producer of the coal with a record production of 729 million tons. Coal stock at thermal power plants in the country attained highest ever level of sufficient for 30 days. Today, there is no dearth of coal anywhere in the country. We liberalized the coal sector with the launch of commercial coal mining. Government has steadily moved towards turning around the coal story to make it part of India's growth story. Let me appeal to all states to facilitate the opening of all these mines so that India could make use of abundant coal resource. It will help our nation to become Atmanirbhar in coal.
Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari will be launching an innovative new paint developed by Khadi and Village Industries Commission tomorrow. The eco-friendly, non-toxic paint called Khadi Prakritik Paint is a first-of-its-kind product with antifungal, antibacterial properties. Based on cow dung as its main ingredient, the paint is cost-effective and odorless and has been certified by the Bureau of Indian Standards. Khadi Prakritik paint is available in two forms, distemper paint and plastic emulsion paint. Production of Khadi Prakritik paint is aligned with Prime Minister's vision of increasing farmers' income.
Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar has said that over 1,200 crore rupees will be spent by the Road Transport and Highways Ministry to create infrastructure for safe movement of wildlife on the national highways. Mr. Javadekar in a tweet said this includes construction of underpasses on the Nagpur-Jabalpur National Highway, which passes through the Pench National Park, and also at highways including Gadchiroli, Chandrapur and Chimur, Vadodara. Bird flu was confirmed in Delhi as 8 samples sent for testing were found positive. The culling of live birds was immediately initiated in Sanjay Lake Park in Mayur Vihar Phase 2. The reports arrived from the National Institute of High Security Animal Disease ICAR, Bhopal this morning. The park had been declared an alert zone yesterday after more ducks were found dead. Earlier, Delhi government had announced the closure of the Ghazipur wholesale poultry market for 10 days and banned the import of live birds as a preventive measure to stop the potential spread of bird flu. Birds continue to perish in Rajasthan due to bird flu. The avian flu virus has been confirmed in birds in 13 districts of the state. So far, 428 birds are reported to have been found dead in different districts of the state. More from our Jaipur correspondent.
2,950 birds have died in the state so far. 226 samples of dead birds from 24 districts of the state have been sent to Bhopal lab for testing, out of which 51 samples of 13 districts have been tested positive, while reports of samples sent from Sikar, Ajmer, Bhilwara, Nagore, Tonk, Bharatpur, Karoli, Churu, Sriganganagar and Barmer districts are yet to come. The state and district level task forces continuously monitor the situation. At the same time, the Forest Department is also taking special precautions in wildlife sanctuaries. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
The State Guardian Minister of Latur, Maharashtra, Amit Deshmukh, has directed the district administration to inquire about the death of hens at Kendrawadi in Ahmedpur Taluka of Latur district and take immediate action and care. This is the second instance of bird flu in Maharashtra after Parbhani district. District Collector Prithviraj BP has alerted the Animal Husbandry Department and asked them to take necessary measures in the Kendrawadi area. Samples of dead chickens have been sent to the laboratory for further investigation.
The Delhi government has finalized 89 hospitals for the first phase of COVID vaccination. Delhi Health Minister Satyendra Jain has said that as per the instructions of the central government, the Delhi government has prepared these 89 sites which are different hospitals of Delhi. Out of these, 40 are government hospitals and 49 are private. In Bihar, 30,000 health officials will be vaccinated every day at 300 centers of the state. Vaccination center includes 9 medical colleges, 5 private medical colleges, 36 private health institutions and other hospitals. Health Minister Mangal Pandey said over 4,67,000 health officials have been registered for COVID-19 vaccination in the first phase. 100 persons will be vaccinated at each centre every day. A 5-member team will be deployed at each centre to supervise the vaccination process. Uttar Pradesh is having the final dry run today for COVID vaccination. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath visited Civil Hospital in state capital Lucknow to oversee the arrangements and also interacted with field officials from 5 districts. More from our Lucknow correspondent.
The dry run of vaccination drive is being conducted on 1,500 places across the state. For the first phase of corona vaccination, 1,300 cold chains have been installed in the state. District Magistrate of Lucknow, Abhishek Prakash, said that 61 vaccination centers with 200 booths have been established in the district, and today's dry run was conducted at every center.
देखिए आज फाइनल ड्राई रन जो किया जा रहा है इसको सभी जगहों पे किया जा रहा है जहां पर वैक्सीनेशन हमारा होगा और 100% स्टाफ को इसमें लगाया गया है। साथ ही साथ इनकी प्रॉपर ट्रेनिंग, इनकी कार्यशाला भी की गई है जिसके कारण पूरा स्टाफ एक टीम वर्क के रूप में इस कार्रवाई को आगे बढ़ा रहा है।
He informed that in first phase, vaccine will be given to health workers, doctors and paramedical staff whose data has been uploaded online. He said that the biggest vaccination center in Lucknow will be the King George Medical University. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
The country's COVID-19 recovery rate has reached 96.43% as more than 16,000 COVID patients recovered during the last 24 hours. The total number of recoveries has gone up to over 1,92,000. The Health Ministry said the actual caseload currently comprises only 2.13% of the total positive cases. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is around 2,22,000. In Mizoram, COVID-19 tally has reached 4,293, with a single case being recorded and the recovery of 6 patients in the last 24 hours. The recovery rate has reached 97.91%. 1 patient died of coronavirus yesterday, taking the toll to 9. According to the State Medical Bulletin, a total of 4,192 recoveries are reported so far, and the state has 92 active cases. In Tripura, 5 new cases of COVID-19 were reported positive, along with the recovery of 7 people in the past 24 hours. With this, total cases reached over 33,000, out of which 32,846 patients recovered from the infection. According to the State Health Bulletin, the number of active caseload has dropped to 50. The recovery rate has also improved to 98.68%.
In the Union Territory of Puducherry, the COVID-19 recovery rate has reached 97.55% and the case fatality rate is 1.66%, with 22 new cases reported yesterday. Of the 22 new cases, 18 cases are from Puducherry region, 4 cases from Mahi region. No death has been reported from any region of the UT. 34 persons were discharged from hospitals. Presently, 152 persons are being treated in hospitals and another 153 positive cases are under home isolation, with a total number of 305 active cases in Puducherry. In Madhya Pradesh, more than 2,37,000 patients have recovered from COVID infection so far, while 620 new positive cases were reported yesterday. The positivity rate is 2.4%. Meanwhile, preparations for COVID vaccination drive on January 16 are also underway in the state. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
The Union Health Ministry will monitor 302 vaccination sites during the actual vaccination in the state. Around 4 lakh healthcare workers to get vaccination in 5 days and 100 workers will be vaccinated at each center per day. Meanwhile, 816 patients recovered yesterday in Madhya Pradesh, with 10 patients succumbing to the infection. The death toll rose to 3,711. 4 districts, Niwadi, Bhind, Katni and Khandwa recorded no positive cases, while Burhanpur, Mandla and Murana recorded only 1 positive case each. Pooja Pivardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Gujarat has recorded 671 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. According to the State Health Department, the recovery rate has further improved to 95.17%. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
The total number of COVID-19 cases detected so far in Gujarat has reached up to 2,51,944. Out of these, 2,39,771 patients recovered. 806 patients recovered during the last 24 hours. Maximum 126 new cases reported from Ahmedabad, while Surat recorded 129 new cases. At present, total active cases in the state are 7,829, out of which 61 patients are on ventilator. 4 patients died yesterday due to COVID-19. Meanwhile, schools of class 10 and 12 students and colleges for final year students have begun from today. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Preparations in full swing for world's largest COVID-19 vaccination drive on 16 January. Prime Minister to interact with Chief Ministers at 4 p.m. Home Minister Amit Shah launches single window clearance system for smooth operationalization of coal mines. An international group of experts from WHO to visit China on 14 January to probe the origin of coronavirus. Bangladesh to be the focus country this year for the 51st International Film Festival of India. And in cricket, India pull off draw against Australia in third test match at Sydney. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the Midday News. An international group of experts from World Health Organization WHO will arrive in China on 14th January to probe the origins of the coronavirus pandemic. The state television said, quoting China's National Health Commission, that a team of WHO experts will conduct a field visit to China on Thursday. More from our Beijing correspondent.
After more than a year since first official coronavirus case was announced in central Chinese city of Wuhan, a team of experts under World Health Organization will arrive in China on coming Thursday. China's National Health Commission said in a brief statement that WHO team would work with Chinese scientists during the trip. Chinese Foreign Ministry, without giving any further details, said that China always supported global cooperation on origin tracing of COVID-19. The probe meant to uncover the animal origins of the virus which caused COVID-19 was called for as part of a resolution passed at a meeting of the WHO's governing body in May last year. Anshuman Mishra for All India Radio News, Beijing.
The Indian Army has returned a Chinese PLA soldier who was apprehended on the 8th of this month. Army sources said he was handed back to China at Chushul Moldo this morning. The Chinese soldier was apprehended on the Indian side of the LAC, Ladakh, in the area south of Pangong Tso Lake. The soldier had transgressed across the LAC and was taken into custody by Indian troops deployed in this area. Bangladesh State Foreign Minister Mr. Shahryar Alam has said that the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation BIMSTEC region has huge prospects for economic cooperation, much of which still remains unexplored and unexploited. Mr. Alam made this comment while welcoming the newly appointed Secretary General of BIMSTEC, Tenzin Lekphel, in Dhaka yesterday. He said Bangladesh, as the lead country for trade, investment and development, is strongly committed to strengthen BIMSTEC cooperation in this field. He emphasized on the importance of making all entities of the BIMSTEC process fully functional and operational. BIMSTEC is a regional organization comprising 7 member states lying in the littoral and adjacent areas of the Bay of Bengal. Established in 1997, it has 7 member states including Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Myanmar and Thailand.
In some more national news, the finals of National Youth Parliament Festival 2021 was held in the Central Hall of Parliament today. 84 winners from states and union territories got an opportunity to be present in the Central Hall of Parliament before the Lok Sabha Speaker, along with Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Kiren Rijiju and other dignitaries. Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Kiren Rijiju said It was a lifetime experience and a memorable moment for the young participants to speak in the presence of Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla in the National Youth Parliament Festival 2021, which was held in the Central Hall.
महोत्सव का उद्देश्य देश के युवाओं को अपने प्रतिभा दिखाने के लिए एक मंच प्रदान करना है, जहां युवा औपचारिक और अनौपचारिक रूप से विचारों का आदान प्रदान कर सके और अपनी सामाजिक और आर्थिक विशेषताओं को साझा कर सके। युवा उत्साह नई भारत का इस महोत्सव का थीम है, जिसमें युवा नई भारत का उत्सव मना रहे हैं। इसका उद्देश्य एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत के सार और मूल भावना को साकार करना है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the valedictory function of National Youth Parliament Festival 2021 tomorrow through video conferencing. The first 3 winners will get an opportunity to speak before the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister will also interact with the youth on the occasion. In Assam, BJP National President JP Nadda is to hold several meetings in Guwahati this evening. Party sources told AIR Guwahati correspondent that Mr. Nadda, who is in Silchar now, will reach Guwahati this evening. In Assam, the Election Commission of India is to hold a review meeting on poll preparedness in Dibrugarh this evening. The Deputy Commissioners and SPs of Upper Assam districts will take part in the meeting today. Assembly polls are due in the state this year.
Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray today launched Mumbai Coastal Road tunnel boring work in Mumbai while operating the giant tunnel boring machine Mawla. The machine will go on boring 2 longest tunnels in Mumbai. The tunnels will connect Princess Street and Priyadarshini Park in Mumbai. The 12.1 meter wide tunnels are considered to be the widest tunnels in the country. The 2 tunnels in this project are expected to be completed by June 2022. BMC Commissioner Iqbal Singh Chahal, Additional Municipal Commissioner Ashwini Bhide and senior officials of L&T were present on the occasion. In Tamil Nadu, the Vice Chairperson of the National Commission for Minorities, Atif Rashid, has appreciated the state for being a pioneer in working for the uplift of minorities in educational, social and economic sectors. Speaking to media on his 2-day visit to Chennai, he said the state government had utilized 100% financial target for unique scholarship and had formed a dedicated IT cell to address issues being faced by the minority students. Bangladesh will be the country in focus for the 51st edition of the International Film Festival of India, IFFI. The Country in Focus is a special segment that recognizes the cinematic excellence and contributions of the country. The festival will be held in Goa from the 16th to the 24th of January. Taking into account the corona pandemic, IFFI is holding its first ever hybrid film festival. We have a desk report.
A special film section on the country of focus, Bangladesh, will showcase 4 films: Ji Bondhuli by Tanveer Mukammal, Megh Mallar by Zahidur Rahim Anjan, Under Construction by Rubaiyat Hossain, and Sincerely Yours Dhaka by 11 individual directors. Ji Bondhuli by Tanveer Mukammal is a story of a drummer and his family during the liberation war of Bangladesh against Pakistan in 1971.
দত্তবাড়ির পুজো আসতেছে হর্ষাকান দুটি রাইস
মায়ের মাটিরা চল ছেড়ে পথ করেছি সাথী চোখের জলে নদী গড়ে দুঃখ সাগরে ভাসিবি কই তুমি।
Megh Mallar, which is directed by Zahidur Rahim Anjan, is an adaptation of writer Akhtaruzzaman Ilyas' story Raincoat. It is a touching story of a simple man caught up in the terror of 1971 Bangladesh.
ওখানে তোরা কি খাস রে মিন্টু? তুমি থাকো তোমার কলেজ নিয়ে, আমাদেরকে দৌলতপুরে রেখে এসো।
স্যার, he is Professor Nurul Huda. Sorry, sir, not professor, senior lecturer in chemistry.
Shut up!
মাছ মাংসের কথা না হয় বাদই দিলাম, ঘরে ডিমও নেই, বাচ্চারা কি খেতে চায়? একটু খাও।
In addition, the 51st edition of IFFI has announced a lineup of programs that will be showcased on the OTT platform during the festival. It includes retrospective films like Live Flesh, Bad Education and Volver of Spanish filmmaker Pedro Almodovar, The Square and Force Majeure of Swedish film director Ruben Östlund. Besides, the festival will have masterclasses and in-conversation sessions at the OTT platform. Swati Rakheja, News Desk.
Benchmark domestic stocks today gained around 0.8% to hit a fresh lifetime high amid mixed global cues in intra-day trade. The Sensex achieved 49,000 level for the first time, while the Nifty crossed 14,400 mark. The BSE Sensex was trading 199 points or 0.82%, up at 49,182, and the NSE Nifty rose 108 points or 0.75% to trade at 14,455. At the Forex market, the rupee depreciated 20 paise to 73 rupees and 44 paise against the US dollar in afternoon deals. The third cricket test between India and Australia at Sydney ended in a draw. India was chasing an imposing target of 407 runs set by Australia. Cheteshwar Pujara and Rishabh Pant fought back valiantly. Pujara scored 77 runs and Pant slammed 97. The duo's contribution helped India stage a turnaround and at one point looked set for an improbable win. But Pujara and Pant fell as India's hopes faded again. Hanuma Vihari and Ravichandran Ashwin, however, batted for more than 3 hours. Vihari scored 23 runs while Ashwin hit 39 runs to take India to a draw. For Australia, Josh Hazlewood and Leon took 2 wickets each. The 4-match test series is currently tied at 1-1, with the final match set to begin on January 15. Final scores are Australia 338 and 312 for 6 declared, India 244 and 334 for 5.
The UT administration is promoting far-flung and snowbound Zanskar in Ladakh as winter tourism destination. A 13-day Khelo India Zanskar Winter Sport and Youth Festival 2021 is to begin from the 18th of January after Ladakh MP Jamyang Tshering Namgyal convinced the Union Sports Minister Kiren Rijiju about the potential for various winter activities to promote tourism and economic activities in Zanskar. The Tourism Department of UT administration is conducting a festival. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. In the national capital, strong winds are expected during the day. Minimum temperature was 6 degrees Celsius. Maximum will be 17 degrees. Mumbai will have a clear sky. Minimum temperature was 23 degrees. Maximum will be 34 degrees. Chennai will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Minimum temperature was 25 degrees Celsius. Maximum will be 29. Kolkata is expected to have a mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was 20 degrees Celsius. Maximum will be around 31. Srinagar will have a mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was 0 degrees Celsius. Maximum will be 6 degrees. In Jammu, the minimum temperature was 9 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be 15 degrees. Leh will have a mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was minus 14 degrees, while the maximum will be minus 1 degree. Gilgit will have a mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was 0 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be 6 degrees. Muzaffarabad will have a mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was 2 degrees Celsius. Maximum will be 15. Dehradun is likely to have a clear sky. Minimum temperature was 8 degrees Celsius. Maximum will be 24. Chandigarh will have a mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was 9 degrees. Maximum will be 13. In Hyderabad, minimum temperature was 16 degrees. Maximum will be 30. Ahmedabad will witness a mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was 15 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be 28. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Preparations in full swing for world's largest COVID-19 vaccination drive on 16th January. Prime Minister to interact with Chief Ministers at 4 p.m. Home Minister Amit Shah launches single window clearance system for smooth operationalization of coal mines. An international group of experts from WHO to visit China on 14th January to probe the origin of coronavirus. Bangladesh to be the focus country this year for the 51st International Film Festival of India. And in cricket, India pull off draw against Australia in third test match at Sydney. And with that, we end the midday news.